Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another fantastic episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. I am your host, that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. And our special guest is a woman who recently made her debut in professional wrestling. That's right. She just started in this crazy, wild, unpredictable yet fun world of professional wrestling. And not only that, she won her first championship. That's right. That title over her left shoulder is not a prop. It's not her being a wrestling fan, or it's not. No, let me use a better example. It's not an FTW. It's not her own version of the FTW title. No, that is the Titan Championship Wrestling Goddess Championship. Everybody, welcome to the show, The Forbidden Fruit, Amanda Fuentes. Amanda, how you doing tonight? I mean, well,
I'm doing
yes,
well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
no problem, no problem. Thank you very much for giving us opportunity to sit down and shoot the breeze about pro wrestling with you. How's everything going for you otherwise?
It's going great. It's been a very busy couple of months. A lot of work being done. Not much sleep, but that's the nature of the business, and everything's going good. It's good so far.
Awesome. That's great to hear. I remember when I met you, you were actually, when I first saw you, you were actually at the Black WrestleFest event. It was day two for Battle Club Pro Wrestling, and I saw you actually. You were actually one of the people that came out. I think was it with Shane Taylor Promotions? I forgot who the stable was, but I saw a bunch of y'all come out, and y'all just like put up the whole like fist in the air and whatnot. I was like, yo, that's pretty cool. And then I was like, wait a minute, there's only one young lady in the crowd. There's only one. Who is she? I My brain goes crazy like that. Like sometimes I see people like, and I'm like, who is that person? Like for example, I don't know if you ever heard this guy, Kid Bandit, who's
Hmm.
killing right now. He graduated from camp 3 of the Nightmare Factory. And normally when how they do it is they take a whole class picture together with the trainers and everything. And everybody was commenting on his hair saying, this cool, what's with the hair? This guy is like an anime character. But I was like, okay, I want to know what his story is or their story is. And we had him on the show. So same thing with you. Who was that young lady amongst all those guys? And she looks pretty
Uh,
powerful. Like I gotta
yeah,
get on the show.
yeah. That was actually during Black WrestleFest. That was actually Anthony Gamble. So we were involved in his entrance. He was up against Mysterious Q. And yeah, I'm very familiar with Battle Club Pro, and the owner of Battle Club Pro. He's great. He's been awesome to me. Whenever I'm in town up in New York, he allows me to train with
Hello? Hello? I think we got disconnected. I think we got frozen, folks. It happens. Um, Live TV or live radio, but she'll be back. But in the meantime, I just want to give a special shout out to. Oh wait, were you frozen or were you?
I was frozen for a brief minute. I apologize.
Okay, I thought it was like, yeah, because StreamYard tends to be crazy sometimes. But yeah, I was about to tell everybody about CCW's 1 year anniversary, but while we were getting back on track. But yeah, so you were saying that you're familiar with Battle Club Pro, and the
Yes.
owner lets
Yes,
you.
very familiar. Yeah,
Oh,
whenever I'm in New York, he allows me, to train there with his students. I know a lot of their talent that appear on Battle Club Pro. Many of them are very close to me, and they have been big influences in my wrestling career and in my life overall. So it's Battle Club definitely is not new to me, and it's very cool to be just a part of that family, and being able to network with all kinds of talent, and just supporting each other in all of this.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Um, so so I take it you're based in Florida?
I am. I was born and raised in New York City,
Okay.
and I moved to Florida last year, so I've been here a little over a year now, and so I'm currently out of Daytona Beach,
Okay.
and yeah.
Party City.
Hmm.
Spring break, man. Yeah, I know about Florida. Hey, I used to live in Fort Lauderdale for 7 years. Trust me, I know about it.
Wow.
I know about all the beaches and oh man, I tell you, woo, I had some of the best like Jamaican and Hispanic food down there. Man, I gotta take a trip back to Fort Lauderdale real soon. But yeah, so how you liking it so far?
It's been a big adjustment, it's you come from such a busy life and environment, very fast paced, and then you come down here and everything's just go with the flow and laid back, and whatever gets done, and whatever doesn't, it's like it is what it is type of thing. So it's been a huge adjustment for me. Like I said, it takes a lot to get used to when you're growing up as a city girl, and used to being busy all the time and everything's going, and then you come back here and you're like, sometimes you don't even know what to do with yourself. um, but it's coming along gradually, little by little. I'm inching my way in more and more, and becoming more accustomed to the lifestyle down here. So it's not the worst. I Me personally, nothing beats home ever. And but being here, it has its good and its bad. It's the heat. Ugh, can't get out of it with the heat down here. But apart from that, it's been positive. It has been a positive transition for the most part.
I don't know about the heat part because right now we roasting up here, man. Like it feels like a sauna outside. It's like, geez. Mm.
Yeah, New
I
York
remember,
gets some pretty brutal summers too.
yeah, I remember just last night I decided to run a couple blocks home and I felt like I ran like 2 miles. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know that heat. I think New York got Florida beat with the heat, but then I heard it's a different heat too. Like it's humid heat up here as opposed to like a different kind of heat down there in Florida. So
Well,
yeah,
it's actually the opposite. New York gets its humidity, granted, but Florida is nothing but humid heat. So when it could be 85 degrees and you would swear it's 100 because the humidity is just insane. Now if you really want to compare something like Texas heat, that's just dry heat. So
woo.
it's more, yeah, the actual heat can be more tolerable than the humidity heat. It's not fun either way.
So you lived in Texas too?
No, it's just, when you do research and compare and contrast in the different land masses and cold fronts and all that stuff, Texas has, desert land and things of that nature. Florida is more swampy, like we have more sand than dirt, that type of thing. So, and different climate change. So that really is what differentiates between the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not fun. It doesn't really start getting cold for us down here to maybe like November, if we're lucky.
Yeah, I used to live in Florida. I remember like there would be some Christmases I'd wake up with nothing but some trousers, some slippers on, and a shirt or a vest. I'd go outside. It's like Christmas morning, and I'm chilling. And even January, like January is like the brutal months up here. And
Hmm.
like you go down, like down there, it's like you out there in like a button down shirt, short sleeve, and everything. It's like man. I actually kind of miss Florida, man. It brings back so many memories. I go back every now and then. I try to go back at least once every year, maybe
Right.
twice.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah. This past winter was actually really cold for us. It would get as low as 25 degrees, and it, by midday it was at least 65, 70. So that's the only perk to that. But it was so cold that all my plants in the front of my house burned because they can't tolerate that type of cold. So we have to replant everything. But yeah, at least the positive is that, by midday you could still wear a button down shirt and, flip flops or whatever, because it's warm enough that you're able to do it in the wintertime. But yeah, it's been getting pretty brutal. We had a pretty brutal winter with the cold down here, shockingly enough.
Oh yeah. So you trained at Team 3D school, right?
I still train there. I started off being trained by Isaiah Wolf in New York. And then I transitioned over to Damian Adams in New Jersey for a little bit. And then when I moved to Florida, yeah. When I
Oh, you
moved to
creme de
Florida,
la creme. No, I'm not
yes.
capping. Like I'm not capping when I say that. Like Team Adams, he brings out the best in people. Like Deanna Perrazzo, Tasha
Hmm.
Steeles.
Hmm.
Who else came out of it? I know somebody. It's too many to mention. Help me out here, man. I know you know some other people.
Well, there's,
Encore. I know him as Encore. Um,
yes, Encore is there still, and a wonderful guy. And, Megan Bain, I've trained with. And,
Megan.
yes. So, yeah, he does bring out among the best in the business for sure. And I'm grateful. I only spent a year with him, but within that year's time, I was grateful for everything that he showed me, taught me, and I was able to bring it down here and, apply that to where I'm at now, training with Devon. So it's been a hell of an experience. It definitely has been an eye opener in terms of, you know just learning about the business and becoming better, and how much work you have to put in to, nothing is handed to you in this business, and you have to work your ass off, and that's what I've had to do. And like what I mentioned the other day, it doesn't stop here with this. It's You have to work twice as hard now once you get this, because now eyes are on you. And even if you don't have this, eyes are on you, especially when word spreads. Oh, who's that girl? Who's this? Who's that? And it's putting in the work, and showing up and showing out at all times. And, all it takes is one person to notice, and, and that's all it takes to spark the fire. So it gets harder as you move up more. It doesn't, a lot of people think it gets easier, or the workload gets lighter. No, it gets harder and more intense, because now you have to maintain that status. You have to maintain those expectations that people have of you. And but yeah, it's been definitely, training wise, it's been an interesting experience all the way around.
Yeah, and it's definitely paying off because you got that big baby over your shoulder right now. And who did you? Was it? Get? I forgot. Was it? I forgot who was the previous champion.
So originally, I was supposed to face Riley Shepard for this. And Riley, unfortunately, she got hurt. And,
Mhm.
I wish her speedy recovery, but I'm still kind of annoyed because, when she gets better, she owes me that match. And, but it ended up becoming a triple threat between Gabby Gilbert, who is a very well known veteran in the ring,
I've
and
heard.
Becca, yeah, and Becca Wiley, who is an up and coming, tons of potential. She's got hell of a kick, I'll tell you that much. She thought that would be enough to bring me down, but it hurts. I'm not gonna lie, but it turned into a triple threat, and it was the three of us, and I prevailed. So that's what happened with that.
To do it with a fellow up and comer and also a veteran because I've known of Gabby Gilbert for years now. I mean, this woman has been to like Shine, she's been in CCW, she may have been in Shimmer too. She's well traveled, and to actually get a win over somebody like that is hella impressive. But then again, where you from? You're from Team Adams, and there's certain. I can tell you right now, as a wrestling fan, I'm a weird wrestling fan. Like I know, like if you tell me, oh, you trained at this person, like if somebody were to tell me, oh, Tyler Breeze and Sean Spears train me, Oh, you train at flatbacks? Or if somebody would say Cody and QT train, Cody Rose and QT Marshall train me. Oh, you're from Nightmare Factory. Or if they were to
Mhm.
say something like, I'm weird like that. Like that's how it's funny. I love this business so much, but I'll never be a wrestler. I don't know. I think this is the farthest I'll go. Or if somebody were to say, oh, Ricky Gibson and such train me, or from 4 minutes of Heat train me. I'm like, oh, you came all the way from Oregon. I know, but I heard about that place. So yeah, but and then there's some people like, okay, that's that person trained. Then you're like, oh, I trained with Damian Adams. I'm like, and you're like, because like the excellence that they bring out in their students, and that's why I made that face. I was like, Damian Adams, like, what? That's impressive, man.
Yeah, he's
Impressive.
incredible, and he definitely brings out amongst one of the best. But he pushes you. He will push you, and he will test you. But it's all for the potential that he sees in the people that he trains. And when I won this, Gabby Gilbert was not too happy with me. She felt that she should have won it, and the only thing that I could say to that is, well, got to be quicker next time, or strategize a little better, because
Or you
I
can do
saw
it,
yeah,
or you
I
can do
saw
it
the
with luck.
chance and I took it. So
That's cool though, man. That's cool. Way to represent. I mean, you're definitely in New York because even though you had a veteran, you made it happen like a captain and you came away with the gold. But let's take a trip back, just a brief trip back. And I always ask like 99% of my, of my guests, what was the event or the pay-per-view that made you become a fan of pro wrestling? Or who was that relative that you saw watching wrestling and made you get interested? Like how did it happen for you?
So for me, the way it happened is I grew up watching wrestling when I was a kid during the Attitude Era a lot. So I
Okay.
would get out of yeah, I would get out of school and watch SmackDown. If I remember correctly, because they were always switching the days. If I remember correctly, SmackDown was like on a Thursday or something like that, and that was when I was in middle school. So fast track, like more than 20 years later, I think about these things where I love the entertainment of it, but I'll be honest, I didn't think about actually pursuing it. It wasn't until I got a lot older, life came at me in a way where my mom was sick and I was dealing with that, and I wanted an outlet. And I always kept up with watching Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, even so. And I said, I need something to do. I need a distraction. And I was always big with working out. I was an athlete as a kid growing up and whatnot, continued with the gym. And I said, let me try wrestling. I honestly, in truth, I really thought nothing of it. I didn't think I would ever make it to this point ever. I really thought I would just learn a few things here and there just to take away, just something to grasp and understand, how wrestling actually worked and how the business worked. And then no big deal, I would give it up and just move on. But then I became hooked on it. And then I started taking it very seriously, and it got to the point where I wanted to continue to grow and enhance my skills and get better. So this is part of my life. This is a huge part of my life, and that's basically how it all unraveled up to this point.
Wow, that's cool. And you became a fan in one of the greatest places to actually watch wrestling and become a fan, New York. And I'm not just saying that because I live here and I got a New York shirt on and it's my second hometown, but New York is legitimately one of the biggest hubs when it comes to professional wrestling fandom. And I tell people it's like it's not a matter of if there's a wrestling show
Right.
going on this weekend. It's a matter of which one you want to go to. Do you want to go to the one in the Bronx? Do you want to go over to Queens? Do you want to
Mm-hmm.
stay in Brooklyn? Do you want to? And then there's New Jersey's not that far either. So it's like, do you want to take the train over to Hudson to New Jersey and see what it is and what's up? I mean, there's so much going on with pro wrestling here. It is unbelievable, and I don't take it for granted. I love it, and yeah, that's you actually you were in the right place, you know. And actually, you kind of became a fan, at the right time because the Attitude Era was something else.
Oh my God.
I was 15 when it started. I was 14 when it started. I'm an old man, and I was like, and I started watching in 1990 when I was like 6 or 7. I was like, you know what? 6-year-old me couldn't watch this stuff. Like I wouldn't be allowed. I mean, the whole thing with the suck it chance and showing people the finger and whatnot. I mean, I
I
would have
gotta
gotten
be
in trouble.
I gotta be honest. I wasn't, my mom, God bless her soul, I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling because of that reason. So if I wanted to watch wrestling, um I had to go to a friend's house. I would go to a friend's house and they would say, "Hey, do you want to come over and watch SmackDown after school?" And I wouldn't lie to my mom. I would tell her whose house I was going to. And but we would go over there and after homework it was time for SmackDown. And then that's how I was able to watch it. Yeah, because the Attitude Era was, it was a prime pinnacle point in wrestling where anything went. And but it was incredible. It was awesome. The Rock. And it was a time that it really allows you to reflect on what it was like and enjoying being a kid. And you fast track to, and I agree with you, I fast track to that now. I'm not letting no 6-year-old watch whatever. But it's just the entertainment, being hit in the head with the chair or a garbage can, and things like that's what people love. And it's also a huge component of it is also great storytelling. And all of those tie into what wrestling is.
Yeah. So, who are some of your favorites you enjoyed watching growing up?
China was my girl.
Okay.
She was my girl. Yeah, I loved her. She was, she portrayed this monster woman who, kicked everyone's ass and just laid it in. And I loved her. I truly did. And she was just this like Wonder Woman. And it kind of reflects, like, I sort of tried to, I don't want to say mirror what she did, because there's only one China and there'll never be another one like her. But in terms of someone of my size and caliber, you know I use it to my advantage. Like, I'm not easy to take down. And the same could be said about China. She was not easy to bring down. Like, it took a lot for you to overpower someone like that. And that's the same approach that I take when I get in the ring with other people. And that's the mindset that I expect my opponents to have. That this is not going to be a 1, 2, 3 game over type of thing. No, no, no. You have to work to get a handle on me and to knock me off my feet.
It's just, man, every time I look back at China's career, the impact she had, I think I look back on it with a bit of sadness, with a myriad of feelings. I back at it with a bit of sadness, happiness, and just like I look at the way things are with women's wrestling now. Let's be honest, there's a big boom now,
Hmm.
and then I look back at how
Absolutely.
she was back then, and I'm thinking, man, if China were alive today, she would. Oh man, just could you imagine if China, let's say, had left WWE, right? And if
Hmm.
AEW had happened like a little couple years before, could you imagine China is all elite, coming back and just, kicking butt? China going toe to toe with a Jade Cargill, China going toe to toe with, you know, um, an Athena. It would have been so great. I mean, granted, she would have been a bit. I don't comment on a woman's age, but she would have been
Hmm.
up there in years. No offense, I'm not
Right.
trying to body people, but
No, not at all.
she's still. But I look back and I'm like, and that documentary, man, she should have just stayed in Japan. To me, I felt like she was more at ease, at peace, and she should have
Hmm.
just never came back here, man. It's just yeah, it's just yeah. There definitely never will be another one. And by the way, speaking of China, did you see the cosplayer that actually it like dressed up as her?
No, I've never. I have not actually, but I'm sure. I'm sure that whoever that person is probably has come very close to looking like her.
Yeah,
I've never seen it, but I cried when China passed away. That's how much I loved watching her and followed her, and I took that to heart. When she passed away for sure, and yeah, if she was still alive today, I absolutely could picture her on AEW 100%. And yeah, she would be up there in age, but the way I see it is that you have people, even on the independent circuit, talent that have been a part of WWE, or that are a part of AEW now, or and TNA and all of that, that they're in their 40s and even 50s and they can still go. So it's like, they love the business so much they don't want to give it up. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to give it up either. And age is only a factor. If you can go, that type of thing. And if you have the ability and the stamina, and you can, and you're healthy, like that, those are the main components that can thrive a person, and they'll just keep going, like with no end in sight, until the body eventually, you have to listen to your body, of course. The body will eventually tell you, okay, it's time to slow down. But unless it's one of those situations, look at someone like AJ Styles, for example. The guy is what, 45 or something like that.
yeah.
He's incredible. He's incredible to be 45 or 46 and to be able to move that way. It's it's incredible. I hope that I can be in my 40s and still be able to move at all. um, so yeah, it's taking care. Self-care is obviously very important in this business as well, physically, mentally, emotionally. And yeah, all of that comes into factor. Wrestling is mental at the end of the day. And you get in the ring with someone that may have such a high profile, such a high resume, and what they've accomplished. And sometimes we're our own worst enemy, and you're like, can I really take this person down? Like, these are things running through your mind. And how do I take them down if I can? Things of that nature. It's all mental at the end of the day.
Yeah, it definitely is. And yeah, your AJ Styles, yeah, being 45, yeah, he I'm sorry, AJ. If AJ, if you ever see this, we don't mean to mention your age, but yeah, being that age, I mean, that's pretty impressive, and to still move like that. Yeah, another guy was Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, he was around that age when he retired,
Mm-hmm.
and he could have still gone to me. And he's another one, like there's no such thing. There, I will say, outside of the DX versus Brothers of Destruction match,
Mm-hmm.
but I chalk that up to ring rust. He's never really had a bad match. His matches have always been crisp, always been
Right.
enjoyable to watch, and the way he just does the storytelling, it's just
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Definitely one of the greatest of all time.
For sure. Yeah, that's hell of a storyteller. That's for sure.
So now that you're the TCW Goddess Champion,
Yes.
if you had to if you had to choose 5 people that you want to defend that title against, normally I'd ask people who are their 5 dream opponents are, but I mean, I'm a switch it up a bit and put a little spin on it. Who are your top 5 people that you'd want to defend that title against? As a matter of fact, you can even include people in WWE and AEW Impact, because the way wrestling is looking these days, anything can happen.
Right. Of course. I still have, I wouldn't know, to be honest with you, because I'm still fresh in the business. I have said it repeatedly though, that I do want to face Riley Shepard. Like, she owes me that match. I was supposed to, and then when I had the triple threat, I was mad because I wasn't going to face Riley. And Riley is a hell of a competitor. And she would be one person that I would enjoy getting in the ring with. But with regards to the other women, I feel like I would think about that down the line as I gain more confidence and experience, because those are competitors where I absolutely would have to be on my A game in order to really show out to take them over, because these are people that are on TV or just very well known in the business. And so I don't think I would have five for right now, but the one that I would want to start off with would be Riley. And I know, Riley has been on AEW dark matches, and like I said, a hell of a competitor. And yeah, I think I would start with her.
Awesome. Well, Riley, if you ever see this episode, she coming for you. You might want to get ready. Once you recover and get yourself ready. She's ready to defend that title against you. So hopefully y'all
I'm
get
ready
that.
to defend it against anyone.
Awesome. Well, I definitely look forward to seeing more of you, like all over, professional wrestling. Well, more appearances from you all in professional wrestling. Hopefully, I get to see you because I met you before in person, but hopefully I get to see
Yes.
you in action in Battle Club Pro, or maybe somewhere down the line when I'm in Florida, you're in Florida. I might see you, kicking some butt down there, taking names and whatnot. And yeah, so I just got two more questions before I shut it down. I know the champion, champ got to get her mind right, plan her next moves and whatnot, and and so forth. So my second to last question is, you know, when you're getting ready to face your opponents, or going in the gym and getting ready to knock out some reps or do some cardio, what are some songs that get you into that beast mode to knock out that workout or knock out the opponent?
I actually, believe it or not, I listen to an album mainly when it could even be when I'm driving in my car. There's an album called Uncommon Being, and you can like find it, I'm sure, on Google Play or iTunes. I have an iPhone, so I got it from iTunes. And Uncommon Being is basically motivational songs. And there's one particular song that I like to listen to, and it's called Dig Deeper. And basically, what it's talking about is that when you feel like giving up, you dig just a little deeper. And that really lights a fire under me, because it's, I got to be honest, when I'm going to go in the ring and face someone, I'm like, you know, how am I even here? How did I even get to this point, type of thing. And, as I'm prepping for my match, I like to listen to that song and clear my mind. And, mentally it calms me down. And it just reminds me that, I'm a badass and I worked my ass off to get to this point. And and then when I'm in there, I do what I have to do. And I do my best to get the job done, regardless of who my opponent may be.
Uncommon Being. I'm gonna definitely have to look that up. Whenever I work out in the gym, my playlist is all over the place. Like, people probably get pissed at me if I ever put it on the aux system. But 1 minute I got Broken Down by Seven Dust, which is a track I have to have in my playlist. Like, no matter what phone I have, I gotta have that
Mm.
track. And then I might have some Limp Bizkit. People don't judge me. I know y'all don't like Limp Bizkit out there, but then next thing you're gonna hear a Carly Rae Jepsen song, or you might hear some wrestlers entrance theme, and then you might hear some rock, and then some more pop, and then people will be like, "Dude, just get out of here, man. You're unstable." I
I
always say
mean,
whatever.
granted, I'm the same way. I'll listen to anything pretty much, but when I'm in the gym or getting ready for a match, that's my go-to.
Yeah, I remember the one time I was working out in the gym, and some guys were like, "Who's in charge of the Bluetooth system around here, man?" It's like, because I guess they didn't like the music I was playing, and yeah, I didn't say nothing. There was like so many of us, so they didn't get around to asking me. But I was like, yeah, I just keep that. I'll just stay in my corner and do my little workout. That was a funny time. So my last question. Okay, so you're new, you're a champion now. Um, where do you see yourself? Where do you see Amanda Fuentes, the forbidden fruit, in 5 years in regards to professional wrestling?
Um, Honestly, I'm big on that. Like I am very big on planning ahead and setting goals. And I am big on foreseeing into the future if I have the ability to. And basically, with regards to this right now, I where do I see myself? I don't really know, but I hope it's at a level that goes higher than this. And it is on my list to try to reach that level. And but for right now, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna continue to put in the work and just enjoy the ride. And anything can happen in 5 years, anything can happen in 10 years, anything can happen tomorrow or 6 months from now. So I'm just enjoying the ride right now and taking in the moment. And reaching up to the next level in this business is on my list. And I'm just going to take it one step at a time. And that's all I could do for right now.
Oh, that's awesome. So I definitely hope that you actually um reach that reach your goals and all that stuff. I just best believe when I see you make an appearance on WWE or AEW or I'll be like, yes, she did. I'll definitely be cheering you on because that's one thing I like to see. I like to see people work hard and get paid, get rewarded for their hard work. So I'm definitely hoping that happens for you. We've had several people that have actually been on this show that I've actually seen on AEW and Impact and even uh, Ring of Honor and WWE, and I'm like, awesome, they did it, man. They're signed to WWE, they got signed to AEW, they're doing their thing in Impact. That's great. I'm very happy. I like to see people win, man. It's a great feeling. So
Absolutely.
with that being said, I just gotta say, Amanda, thank you, 100 thank yous for actually giving us this opportunity to sit down and talk to you about pro wrestling. We were very grateful. When I say it's just too bad that my two other co-hosts couldn't be here, Kathy Knight and Rob Bass, because
Hmm.
they would enjoyed speaking to you as well. Rob probably would have asked you if you like Marvel or DC or if you like Star Wars and stuff. And yeah, he has a
He's a
natural,
comic.
yeah, yeah, but unfortunately couldn't be here. But once again, thank you very much for this, and also congratulations on not only becoming a pro wrestler, not only taking the. I gotta find a cool way to say. I gotta stop saying jump the barrier because then people jump the barrier and do nonsense and they get beat up. And I'm also big on just staying in your lane as a fan. But congratulations on actually taking that step and becoming a pro wrestler and winning your first championship. I definitely hope you get to win many more championships. I hope you get to go all over the country, all over the world, and experience different types of fandoms and all that stuff. I can tell you right now, if you get to go to Japan, take it with a smile and go. You will enjoy it. You will like it. And if you're a fan of anime, that's definitely a place to be.
Thank
So
you so much.
no problem. So before I shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out when your next appearance is, purchase Amanda Fuentes merchandise, and where can books and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
So I am working on I apologize, my dog is barking. I am
So,
working on merch that is in process. With regards to actually finding me on social media, they can find me on Facebook, Amanda Fuentes. They can find me there. On Instagram, they can actually find me at it's an underscore Amazonian 413. I am mainly on Facebook and Instagram, so they could definitely find me on there.
awesome. So y'all heard she's on social media. Make sure you follow this young woman. She's doing great things in professional wrestling. Not even I don't even think it's been 6 months and she's already a champion. So you might want to follow her and whenever the merch comes out, purchase the merchandise. If you can't make the shows she's on, another way you can show that you're supportive is purchase the merchandise as well. I always say support indie wrestling. That's where 95, 99% of your AEW and WB superstars come from. And
Yep.
when you put that Amanda Fuentes shirt and some jabroni comes up to you and says, "Hey, I got the new Amanda Fuentes shirt from WWE Shop or Shop AEW. You could be like, boy, girl, get out of my face, man. I got her shirt from when she was on the Indies, man. Go. It's always a great feeling knowing that you're supporting somebody from the bottom and then seeing them rise to the top. So, Amanda,
Absolutely.
once again, with that being said, oh yes, Corbin Rogers, you are right. Support indie wrestling. You got the right mindset, my friend. But with that being,
Absolutely.
it's about time for us to shut this show down. My stomach is rumbling. My eyes are getting heavy. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order. But before I indulge in those activities, if you want to find me on social media, you can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue and also on Instagram at the Remy Blue as well. And I'm also on Facebook. Just put in Remy Blue and you'll find me. But our podcast is also on social media as well. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019, Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. Just type in Ringside Society, you'll find us. We're also on Spotify. We also have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise as well. We have T-shirts. We have, you know, tank tops for the summer for the hot weather we have right now. We have long sleeve shirts for the winter. We have hoodies. We even have coffee mugs. So make sure you check out our merch store, our Teespring store. Cop some merchandise. All proceeds go back into keeping this show afloat. They don't go back into our pockets. Trust me. I'm still eating hamburger helper help. But with that being said, one more thing. We also have a YouTube channel. That's right, where you can see many great episodes like this one and the many others that we've had, like the one we had with Ruthie J, who's also down in Florida, Emily Locke, and the movement, and several other great people as well. So make sure you're checking us out on YouTube. All you gotta do is type in Ringside Society, and once you see that sweet OMG dark blue and light blue yin yang sign with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight live. Thank you very much. We know we're not the best, but we try to be one of the best podcasts a wrestling fan should listen to and to bring you some of the best interviews and content that a wrestling fan can listen to and watch as well. And also to those of you that are going to listen to us later on when you get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away. Well, like myself at the Golden Corral, we're not going anywhere for a while. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody here know that we're very willing with everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. So I'm gonna say this right now. One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the Titans Championship Wrestling Goddess Champion, the Forbidden Fruit, Amanda Fuentes, with a Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And with that being said, we will be back tomorrow with another impressive get. You know something? I'm just feeling happy right now. I'm gonna just say it like it is. Tomorrow we will be having Capital Championship Wrestling Network champion. She is part of the Righteous, which is a stable in Ring of Honor. I'm talking about Vita Von Star. She will be our guest tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll be 11:30 p.m., 11:30 a.m. for all my West Coast riders. So make sure y'all are tuning in tomorrow. And with that being said, until then, we just want y'all to do four favors for us. That's right, just four. Just four. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
Bye bye.